Lynn from Blair. It said we're going to explore the properties of water, and I won't pre-do this, no, because you're doing that part, so I'll do my own water. So I got to thinking about how I looked at water. That is funny water. You think, is it bubbled water? Is it bubbly water? And so I remember back to during Lent last year, we had my friend Sheila come in and we did a little enactment of the woman at the well. And we explored what does it mean when Jesus said, I am the living water. When you drink of me, you shall never thirst. And how do we now zip forward 2,000 years and how do we explore what are those properties of water? What did he mean by living water? And if we drink that water, what does that mean? And so many of you helped me out at Lynn Valley Days this last summer, down at the rec center, right there, that way. Which way around? And we had this beautiful opportunity to engage with children and provided over 200 bottles of water last Lynn Valley Day for children on a very hot day, if you remember it was. And so, I'll get out of the way of the screen. We keep moving the screen in different places. So, changing the screen. There we go. So there is a man by the name of somebody Emoto. I don't remember his first name, so I won't even attempt to tell it. And he's done a bunch of studies in Japan that research what happened to water as different qualities were infused into it. So if the water from a tsunami or from a nuclear power plant explosion was prayed over, the difference of what would happen to this water right here when it was frozen would result in a very different crystal. And so that brought him curiosity. And so water that was infused with Mozart's symphony looked like that. The song Imagine, as it inspired the crystal. Heavy metal music? How about I Will Kill You? Or after prayer, thank you and peace. Next slide. And so a water molecule before prayer and after. Water that is infused with gratitude or is telling it, you make me sick, you make me sick, you make me sick, and then eaten or drunk, and with love and appreciation. Next slide. Compassion and thank you, wisdom and truth, joy and love and eternal and harmony and soul and angel and hope. And so I got to thinking about what are we drinking? And what are we made of? They do kind of look like fireworks. And if Jesus said, if you drink of the living water, you shall never thirst. And if I imagine who I think of Jesus to be as someone who is filled with compassion and gratitude and wisdom and truth and joy and love, and that if we might partake of his wisdom, what might that mean for us? You have a little fairy? Wow. And so I got to thinking that research shows that most of what is inside of our being is water. And so as we look in the mirror, what are the thoughts that we think about ourselves? Do we say, I love you and I'm grateful that this body has served me well? Or do we look in the mirror and say things like, you're looking a little fat today, or boy, I wish you were prettier? Do we see God in the mirror when we look in the mirror at ourselves? Or do we see something else? And so my question to all of you as we explore the properties of water, as we explore what it means to be baptized in the Spirit, that you might look to the messages of the water that you drink, of the water that resides within you. And how might you upgrade those to be ones of words of the Spirit? That those might be properties of the Spirit. And I think we have one more slide. Words of love and encouragement versus words of hate and anger. So that we might be those brilliant crystals shining into this world, and that brilliance. I'm going to out you just a little bit, Steve. Steve and I went over to Highlands United this morning and hosted a youth group. And it was beautiful to watch him show his brilliance, to show his light to this group of youth, and to share his life and his journey with them. In that moment, I felt like what was being imparted to those youth was that experience of living waters. And might we be able to do that in our Friday night lives? Might we be able to do that in our conversations and discussion about what is the living waters of the Spirit that are present within this community? And so the children and I will go in the back, and we will have stickers and crystals and words and sound, and we'll talk about what are the words that we want to put in the water that we put into our bodies, that we might be that crystallized gem shining out into the world of love, of compassion, of truth, and of light. And so that's my invitation to all of you.